Have you ever browsed an online store and felt frustrated clicking page after page to see more products? You are not alone. The way we shop online is changing, and as developers, we need to create a smooth, seamless experience for our users. Today, I'm going to show you how to replace traditional pagination with a load more button in Shopify. This will make your store feel faster and more interactive, just like top e-commerce brands do. If you are passionate about improving your skills, consider subscribing to my channel. I'll bring you real world Shopify solutions every week, and trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next. So let's get started. Shopify uses built in pagination to display products on collection pages, and by default, Shopify loads a fixed number of products per page, and user must click on next or previous to navigate between pages. While this works fine, it reloads the entire page, which is not a great experience for users who wants quick browsing. So let me open my theme files. If you followed along my previous theme development series, you are familiar with this code. Currently, I am into template collection.liquid file. To get this file, just go to the templates folder and open your collection.json file. You can see here template type, template collection. So this template collection must be a file in your section folder. So if you go to your section folder, you will find a file here. Okay, so open this file. So this is our code to display products on collection pages. Here we are importing pagination file and we are passing paginate object to this file. So let's open this pagination file. So this pagination.liquid file must be in the snippet folder. So let's go to the snippet folder and you will find pagination.liquid file here. Open this file and you will see we are using this piece of code to display this previous and next pagination links. Basically, we are working with the previous URL and next URL. If we try to print this in our template collection.liquid file, you can see the URL that we can use in our load more functionality. So let's try to print this, and instead of this pagination, we need to use paginate object and save this. Now let's go to the front end and see what we have. You can see we have next page URL here, which is page 4. And if we click on next button, you can see this is our last page of the pagination, and you cannot see here any output because we have maximum 4 pages in our pagination. If we go to previous, you will find page 4 and click again on this previous button, you will find page 3. To achieve load more functionality, we need these things. First, we need to use the URL and we can pass page parameter to this URL and fetch the result from the next page. Okay, so now let's start coding. Let's remove this and I'm going to comment this piece of code because we don't need this. Okay, the first thing that we need is the maximum number of pages. Okay, so how we can do that? Let's create a input text here and give this input field a value. Let's say total pages, and the value would be, we can use a paginate object and get pages from here. Let's save this and check on the front end. You can see we have total pages here. So we can use this variable, and we will use this in our Alpine.js code. So let's wrap this code inside the div and give this a class. Let's say load more, and wrap this whole div inside this div. Okay, so let's do that and move this input field outside this product grid div. Okay, and now let's make it hidden. Now the next thing that we need to do is convert this div into Alpine.js component, and we can do that using xdata directive. So our code for load more functionality lies in this xdata directive, and here we need to create some states. Okay, first state that we need is page. So we can going to give a default value to 1, because when we land on collection page, by default we are on the first page. So this is why we are initializing this state with 1. The next state that we need is, let's say, has more products. Let's make it true. So what we need to do with this has more product is, we are going to show and hide our load more button based on this state. Okay, so next state that we need to do is, let's say, loading. So this is optional, but I would like to have a loader when I click on load more button. So let's do that. So the loading must be false. Okay, next we need to create a function. Let's say load more, and we are going to add our logic in this function. Okay, first of all, let's make the page increment here. Let's say this dot page plus plus. So when we click on the load more button, we call this load more function, and our page state will be incremented by 1. Let's say we are on the first page and we click on load more button, and then we are going to be on the second page. So let's create a button here in this div, and the text would be, let's say, load more, and we can add some classes here. Let's say bg black, text white. Let's give a width of, let's say, 200 pixel or maybe more. Let's give this W64. Let's add some padding p3 and rounded corners. And what else we can do with this? Let's add flex, justify center, and items center. Add mx auto and add some margin empty, let's say 10. Let's save this and hope this will make our button centered. Yeah, you can see that. Now what we need to do is, let's add a condition here. We are going to show this button if x show has more product is true. Okay, the state that we define here. Okay, so has more products. We are displaying this button only if this has more product state is true. Let's save this and check if it is working. Okay, now we have this load more button, and let's try to make this state false and check if this button is hidden. Okay, so our condition is working. So the idea here is when we click on this load more button and our page counter is equal to total pages, then we are going to make has more product state false. Okay, so this is the idea behind these two states. Okay, so next thing that we are going to use, let's create a click event here and call this function load more. Okay, so we have this. Let's console log this dot page. Okay, let's save this and check if click event is working. Okay, let's open console. You can see we have the page counter working properly. Okay, before proceeding, we need to make a condition here also. We need to add one more condition here. So that condition would be, we need to check in liquid if the collections has, let's say, more pages. Currently, we are displaying, if I open the backend of my store, you can see on the collection template, we are displaying 8 products per page. So we need to make a condition if our current collection has more than 8 products, only then we are going to display load more button. Okay, so let's make that condition if. So we can use collection object here, and inside the collection we are going to use products and size. So we are going to check if the collection.products.size is greater than 8. Okay, then we are going to show our load more button, but it should be dynamic. In the schema settings, we have created a field with the ID number of products per page. So we can use this setting. Okay, let's do that. So instead of this 8, we can use section dot settings dot number of product pages. Okay, if this condition is true, only then we are going to display this load more button. Okay, so this is it with this. Now let's work on our logic. So we have a page increment here. Now we are going to use JavaScript fetch API. So if you remember, while creating this sorting option, we already used fetch API. Okay, so this is something we have already done. So the logic would be very similar with the sorting option. So let's start here. So let's create a variable, let's say const response, and this would be equal to, let's use fetch, and in this fetch API we need to pass our URL. So to make URL dynamic, we are going to use collection.url. So we are going to use collection object and get the URL from there. And here we are going to pass a page attribute, and which would be equal to this dot page. So by default, the page is 1. When we click on load more, we are incrementing and the page state, and this would return 2, and we are passing page is equal to 2 here. So since this fetch gives us a response, we can use await here. So basically this fetches the next page of products from Shopify, and this await ensures JavaScript waits until the response is received before moving to the next step. So I hope this is clear. Basically, this is not Alpine.js. This is plain JavaScript. So now we are getting the response here. So we can create one more variable. Let's say const, which would be text. We are going to use await and use response dot text. So this await here ensures JavaScript waits for the full response before continuing. So basically, this whole code works like the fetch function sends a request to the server. Here, Shopify collection page, and await keyword waits until response is received. So we are using dot text here that converts the response body into a string. So HTML content in this particular case, and the text variable now holds the full HTML of the fetched page. If we console log this text variable, so let's see what we have. Before this, let's add async keyword here. So I'm using this because we are using response based output here. Okay, let's save this and now check what output we get from this piece of code. Okay, let's save this and go to our front end. Let's open the inspector tool and let's open the network tab. Okay, so we don't have our load mode buttons. So let's check why we don't have load mode button here. I think the issue with this condition, so basically instead of this products.size, we can use all product counts. Okay, so we can use this condition and hopefully this will work. And let's refresh the page. Okay, so now our load more button is there. Now let's open networks tab and click on load more button. You can see we have a request to the next page and the status code is 200. And if we open the console, you will see we have all the HTML of this particular page. Okay, so now the next task that we need to do is get the relevant HTML that we need and use that. So let's do that. So now here we can create one more variable. Let's say HTML, and with the help of this DOM parser, we can get the required HTML from this text variable. So let's do that. From the parser, we can use parse from string, and here we can pass our text variable, which is this one, and we can also pass text HTML. So we can get the HTML from this text variable. Okay, so we can let me spell that right here. Okay, so we are going to create one more variable, which is const. Let's say new HTML, and this would be HTML dot query selector. So from here we are going to get this one. Actually, we need this piece of code, and here in this loop we are using product card. So basically we need this product card HTML. Okay, so we can see here in this piece of code, if we inspect this, basically this one, so we need this piece of code here. Okay, this div, basically product card info div. Okay, so let's do that. So from this entire HTML, we are going to get the product grid basically from the HTML that we get here. Okay, so let's do that. HTML dot query selector, we can use this query selector all, and here we can pass this ID. Let's do that, and from here we are going to get all the child div from this particular div. So I hope you understand this. Now, the next thing that we need to do is we need to populate this new HTML here. Okay, so let's do that. First of all, we need to check condition if so this new HTML dot length is greater than 0, only then we are going to append our new HTML to this actually. Okay, so now what we need to do is we are going to loop through this new HTML and we are going to use for each loop, and here we can create a new variable, let's say product, and populate this product into our product grid. Okay, so let's use that. So we can use document dot query selector. Let me check the spelling. Okay, so document dot query selector, and the query selector would be our product grid. So we are passing ID here, and now we can use append child JavaScript function and pass this product here. Okay, so we are getting the HTML from this new HTML and appending in our product grid. Okay, so I hope this will work. Let's check that. So let's refresh the page and open the networks tab. So it will oh, you can see that our products are loading. Okay, so currently we have all the products that we listed in our Shopify store. So currently we have, let me count this, 1 2 3 4 5 6 24 and 26 products are here. So let's check in our backend how many products do we have here. From where we can get this information. Okay, you can see we have 26 products and we have listed all the products using load more functionality, but the load mode button is still there, but we don't have the next page. So now we need to work on this. We need to hide this. Okay, once it reached to the maximum number of pages. So currently we have 4 pages. Let's check that. Let's refresh this. You can see we have 4 products here. So what we need to do is we need to make a condition if our product counter, which is this one, we are incrementing this. If it reaches to the maximum number of products, then we are going to make has more products false, so that it will hide our load more button. So let's do that. For that, we need to get this actually the value of total pages text field. So here we can get the value of total pages using document.getElementById, which is total pages, and get the value and convert this into integer. Okay, so now we can make a condition here. If this dot page, let's say greater than equal to total pages, okay, which is this one, and we can make as more products is equal to false. Okay, so let me copy this and paste that here. Okay, so hopefully when we reach on the 4th page, so this load more button will be hidden. So let's check that. Let's click on load more. Okay, we are on the 2nd page. Now we are on the 3rd page, and now we on the 4th page, but still we have that here. Okay, so I think I made some mistake here. Basically, to access this as more, we need to use this. Okay, hopefully this will fix the issue. Okay, so first page, we are on the 2nd page. Now we are on the 3rd page, and we are on the 4th page, and our load more button is gone. Maybe you can display a message here, but I'll keep this thing like that. So the next thing, actually the last thing that we need to do is add a loader here. So you can see I have created a state loading false. when we click on load more button, we are going to make this dot loading is equal to true. And when everything is done, we are going to make here make loading false. Okay, so our idea is to add a loader here. If we open the snippet folder, you will see we have a loader file here. Open this. You can see we have a loader here, and here we are showing we have a condition X show when loading is true. We can use this file in our collection template. Okay, so let's go here inside this div, load mode div. We can use, let's say, render and include our loader file. Let's make this text to hidden. Okay, now let's save this. Now let's check our output. You can see we have a beautiful loader here, and that's it. With just a few lines of code, we have transformed Shopify's standard pagination into a modern, seamless load mode button. Your customers can now browse your product more smoothly without unnecessary page reloads. So if you found this helpful, please hit that like button, drop a comment, and of course, subscribe for me for more Shopify tutorials. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.